Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 90, Chapter 48, Human Phoenix. Willow was in a forest, or at least she thought she was. She wasn't really sure because it was so different from anything she'd ever seen before. After a few minutes' contemplation, however, Willow decided that she was indeed in a forest. Where she wasn't sure, but somehow the unknown didn't bother her. Willow lazily looked around herself and realized that she stood on grass. Not normal grass, but vibrant green grass, grass that looked like its color had been tweaked. This grass looked so much more colorful than the normal, everyday grass she was used to. Gradually, after she was done admiring the beautiful grass, it really was attractive how the light sparkled off of each individual blade, almost making mini rainbows. Willow saw that she was surrounded by large trees. Again, not your everyday large trees. These trees had unbelievably wide trunks and went so high into the sky that Willow wasn't able to see the tops of them. She didn't even know if there were tops to these trees. The leaves on these humongous trees were proportionally huge, spanning more than 2 hands' width put together. The colors of the leaves, the bright and pulsing with life reds, orange, yellows, and purples, entranced her, making it difficult to draw her eyes away. As a gentle breeze blew through, the leaves waved at her, making her feel welcomed. A huge smile lit her face at the thought. "Have you ever seen anything like it before, Val?" Willow asked, her eyes tracing a cluster of uniquely bright blue flowers. When he didn't answer her, she said, "Val?" and looked toward her staff, which was in her hand, or it should have been in her hand, when she saw her hand empty. "Val!" she called louder, as if he were a lost child. "Where are you?" Again, he didn't answer. But for some reason, this didn't worry Willow. Some inner voice told her he was fine, that everything was fine. Sighing with sudden contentment, Willow wondered what was beyond the immediate area. Looking past the nearest tree, she saw a row of pink and white flowers. No, not a row, Willow thought as she moved toward them so she could see them better. A path. It's a path of flowers. How beautiful, she squealed in delight. She'd never seen a path of flowers before, but this one pleased her immensely. She followed the path of pink and white flowers, which gradually became deep blue-green flowers with the most unique petals she'd ever seen. Instead of being round or a roundish shape, these were rectangles. How did the petals grow in that shape? Willow wondered before the question floated out of her mind. Contentedly continuing along the path, She saw dozens of different flowers along the way, each one more beautiful and captivating than the one before. After perhaps a few days had passed, or possibly more days had gone by, or maybe even a few hours. Willow wasn't sure how much time had passed, for who cared about time when you could admire the world around you? She came to a bridge. This bridge was very simple. Made of orange-brown wood, it was barely wide enough for two people to walk across side by side. Not at all the size bridge Willow expected for such a forest as this one. "I thought it would be bigger," she said, not moving to cross the bridge. On the other side of the bridge, there was a continuation of the forest, but what caught Willow's attention was the bright light shining in her direction. Unlike the sun, this light didn't reach her side of the bridge, but stopped about 3/4 of the way. Willow traced the light's rays with her eyes, noticing how the closer to the source the light was, the more intense and brilliant the light became. Willow's eyes had drifted to the creeping crystal clear water below the bridge when a soft, familiar voice spoke. "I wouldn't cross if I were you." "At least not yet," another voice said, this one not familiar. Turning so her back was to the bridge, Willow saw two women sitting at a triangular table, which was oddly colored. That table wasn't there before, Willow thought as she approached the women. When she was closer, only a few feet away, she saw that the table was trisected in color. Before one of the women, a woman who looked a lot like Astrid, the table was a blue color, the same shade as her clothing. Her hair was also tinted with the blue color, but it was so minor, Willow was barely able to see it. It was the same way for the other woman, except for her. The table was a fiery red color. Again, the color of the table matched her clothing, and also her hair, Willow noticed. The last third of the table was a beautiful lilac purple color, the same color as the clothes she had worn since finding Val, the same clothes she was currently wearing, she saw with a glance. "I wonder if my hair is the same color," Willow thought whimsically. "Come, sit," the woman in red said. "We have been waiting for you." Willow pulled out the chair and took her seat at the unusual table. A curl of hair brushed her cheek, momentarily drawing her attention. Sure enough, her hair did have a purplish tint to it, but it also appeared to be lightly highlighted with blues and reds. "Don't think about it too much, or your head will hurt," the woman in red said kindly. "Astrid?" she asked the woman in blue, even as she decided to take the other woman's advice. "That is my name, Willow, but I fear you confuse me with one of my descendants. As much as we may look alike, we are not the same woman," Astrid said. The woman in red laughed as Astrid finished speaking. "What's so funny?" Willow asked. "Inside joke," the woman said. "I am Nerthus, by the way. I look like one of my descendants, too, in case you were wondering." The woman, Nerthus, continued to chuckle. "Who are you?" Willow asked, her eyes on Nerthus. Even though she knew it was rude to stare, she couldn't help herself. Willow had never seen anyone with such red hair in her life. It really was quite startling. "I don't mean your names. I mean—" "We know what you mean," Nerthus said. "Can't you figure it out yourself?" You're the two sorceresses, aren't you? The ones who made Val and Adelina and everything else. That's who you are." "She's a smart one," Nerthus said. "Of course she's smart," Astrid said. "How else would she be here wearing our creations?" "Good point." "Where are we?" Willow asked, suddenly preoccupied with the world around them. "Where are we?" she asked. "What is the answer to her question, Astrid?" Nerthus said, looking around her as if she was just noticing their location. "We are safe," Astrid responded. "That doesn't answer my question." "No, it doesn't, but for now, that is my answer." "Why am I here?" Willow asked, letting Astrid's non-answer go. "What is the last thing you remember?" Nerthus asked, her laughter and merriment gone. I was at the palace. The old queen's palace. I was standing before Aluak, and then he did something. What did he do?" "Does this help you remember?" Astrid asked, waving her hand in the air. Suddenly, the image of Aluak holding a sword dripping with blood, flashed in the air above the table. As fast as it appeared, it disappeared, only giving Willow an instant to register what she'd been shown. "He stabbed me with that sword," Willow said, the memory flooding back to her. "He stabbed me, and I was bleeding. I called for help, and Hawk took me away from them. We ended up somewhere, and I remember him talking to me about something. It then went dark, and the next thing I knew, I was here. Did you two bring me here? Wherever we are?" "Could you have survived your wound?" Astrid asked, ignoring Willow's question. While Astrid waited for an answer, she waved her hand again, this time across the table. Suddenly 3 wine goblets appeared, each full to the brim with wine. "Of course I survived the wound," Willow said, looking down quickly at herself, and not seeing any blood or injury. "How else could I be alive to talk to you?" "A better question would be, are we alive?" Nerthus asked as she picked up her goblet and took a sip of the wine. "Perfect as always," she commented. "From that little vineyard. Of course, where else would I get it?" Astrid asked. "Are you alive? Of course you two are not alive. You've been dead for over 400 years. Murdered if the rumors are true." "Wait," Willow said, suddenly realizing what she said. "If you two are dead, how am I talking to you? Am I?" "Are you what? Dead? Perhaps a little, but I wouldn't worry about it much," Nerthus said. "Not worry about it? How can I not worry about being dead?" "If you are dead, you can't change that fact, can you? So why worry?" Nerthus asked. "Nerthus, don't confuse the child. To answer your question, Willow, you don't have to worry about being dead, because you are not really dead. Did you die? Yes. But are you dead in the traditional sense? No," Astrid said, sipping her wine. "Great way to not confuse her," Nerthus muttered. "Could you have come up with a more convoluted explanation?" You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.